Hello everyone, my name is David and this is about reviving an old phone. What you see here is a Sony XZ1 Compact, which is one of the last few compact phones from Sony. I like compact phones because I can do a lot of things from the one hand without having to stretch or do anything when they're tall or big. I know Apple has a compact phone, but I'm not a fan of Apple and the operating system. They're good phones, but just not for me. So being this a compact phone, being an older phone, you'll notice the issue we have here is there's only 32 gigs and half of it is already used just for the stock apps and everything in a freshly resetted phone as well. So my dilemma is if I want to store my apps and games like Genshin Impact, Figure Fantasy and Tower Fantasy, there's not going to be enough room. So today I'm going to show you how we can expand this room forcibly, because one of the features that Android used to have was to put some of the app data onto the memory card. So let's get started. So first things first, we want to get into developer options. So we want to open up the phone, we'll go into settings, we'll go down to system, go up to about phone, and at the bottom the build number. Tap it a few times till it says you're a developer. We head back and in systems again, in the advanced settings we'll now have developer options. We want to go in and want to enable USB debugging. Yes, and that will get you started for the next step. Alright, so next we want to get it connected to your computer, and you'll notice that when you connect it for the first time, now with developer and USB debugging set on, it's going to ask you to allow debugging. Go always allow, okay, and allow. Alright, so now that we've set up for the phone to be able to connect to a computer, we want to make sure your memory card has been inserted. So in this case, I'm using a 64 gig SD card or micro SD card. So you'll see here I've got a list of commands we'll be using, and so we need to download the platform tools to be able to use a tool for the access to ADB shell. You'll find a link to the download in my description. So for me, I've extracted it down to the main C drive, platform tools. And so what we want to do now is open up command prompt. So with the start button, CMD, run it as administrator. So now we'll start entering, we want to get to the folder with the platform tools. So CD, C, platform tools. Once in that folder, we'll access the tool itself, so ADB shell. And once you're in there, we want to list the disks. So list disks, and my disk number is 1790. So here I've used example 64. We now want to make the card adoptable to be partitioned. So SM set force adoptable true. We now want to convert our disk or partition it. So SM partition disk using ID number. So 1790 in my case, and private. This will set the entire disk to be adoptable as internal storage. You alternatively can do a mix and mix by typing mixed and then a percentage rather than private. And so the percentage will be what you want to keep as your accessible external memory. That means data can be accessed via a card reader. The 40%, or in this case private, means 100%, means you can only access it through your USB cable or Wi-Fi or whatever you need to directly connect to the phone. So it takes a bit of time. It's been converted. So now we want to complete the setup. We're going SM set force adoptable false. Yep, and that's it for that. So now on the phone, we want to go to the settings. Our storage, you'll see it looks a lot different now. It doesn't have the space where it said portable storage before. So now it's been partitioned. So we want to go into the card, squares, migrate data, and move content. This will set it up so that in the future, any sort of data you install or download will be saved onto the card, which is acting as an internal storage. And also that will transfer any existing data there is. So how it works is you download your app, so the app will still be downloaded into the main 32 gigs. So for example, Genshin takes about 500 megs or so, maybe a few gig or so for other data. But then the main core data, that's 16 gigs worth, will all get saved on SD card, all in here. So that is how you can set up your old phones that are lacking storage to have added storage, and so you can continue using it with all the latest apps. I hope this helps you out, and yeah, let me know if you've got any questions and I'll do my best to help you out. Thanks. So just a quick update. I've mentioned in the description that sometimes the apps might download to the external partition that you've petitioned to work with the internal. They'll cause some of the apps to not work. So I've set up some of the free games I currently play, Genshin, Figure Fantasy, and Tower Fantasy. I already set up Genshin and Figure Fantasy, so you'll see in the settings, in the storage, and you see how they take up the space down here instead. There's 16, 20 gigs worth of space. It's all used up in here, whereas the main program itself, the app data is still here, but the game data is in the SD card now. And that frees up for you to install more and more apps and do whatever you need to do before the phone crashes. So Tower Fantasy, I haven't done it yet, so I'll give you an example. We'll start it up. Again, it's an older phone, so it might be a bit slow. And you see it says an update error. It doesn't work properly. So we'll close that. And now if we go to the settings, we'll go to our apps, to our Fantasy, you'll see how the external says it's on external. Storage on external, change it to internal. Depending on the size, it can take a while, it could be quick, size of the app. So this one's pretty quick. Yep, and once that's done, now if we load it up again, you'll see that it will start downloading the update and work without any issues. So any apps you run into that don't run properly as normal, or you believe might be having some issues, then just make sure that it's set on the internal storage. And so you see here, it's not giving me an error, and now it's also starting to download. And so it's working the way it should work. So I hope that clears up any concerns anyone has, or any problems people might run into as they do this. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments, and I'll endeavor my best to answer